The story begins with one shocking fact. The US dollar is considered the hardest currency in the world to counterfeit. It contains 127 security features, and it is not even made of regular paper. Instead, it is a special fabric made of 75% cotton and 25% linen. Our main character is a young Canadian man named Frank Bourassa. He never finished high school, but he possessed two extraordinary abilities: legendary patience and an unbelievable attention to detail. Frank spent 47 straight days under a magnifying glass studying a single $20 bill. From the microscopic lines to the hidden security thread, he analyzed every tiny detail until he discovered something important. The secret to counterfeiting the dollar was not the printing, it was the fabric itself. Because the only company allowed to manufacture US dollar paper was federally protected, Frank decided to outsmart the system. He created a fake company called Keystone Investments and took on the identity of a businessman named Jackson Maxwell. After being rejected by 23 different factories, Frank finally convinced a Swiss company to produce custom security paper for what he claimed were high-security corporate bonds, but the specifications he requested were almost identical to real US dollars. The same cotton-linen blend, the same resistance to iodine detection pens, and even a polymer security thread marked with the words USA 20. He paid $35,000 for the custom mold and successfully shipped enough paper to Montreal to print $250 million. Frank then moved into the industrial phase of the operation. He purchased an abandoned farm and transformed its barn into a highly advanced secret printing facility. Inside was a massive Heidelberg printing machine weighing over 6 tons, the same type used by official government printing houses. He invested over $300,000 into equipment and hired a technical expert to perfect the ink density and color alignment. After months of failed experiments, Frank finally produced the first perfect $20 bill, a counterfeit so accurate that even ultraviolet inspection could not expose it. Between April and December of 2010, Frank printed $250 million and stored the cash inside 47 wooden boxes, creating the largest amount of counterfeit US currency in history. Frank distributed the money like a wholesale businessman. He sold 1 million counterfeit dollars for 300,000 real dollars, but with one important condition: the bills had to circulate outside Canada and the United States to avoid detection. Everything worked perfectly until one careless distributor repeated serial numbers on several bills. That single mistake caught the attention of US intelligence agencies, launching a massive investigation known as Operation Sunset. At first, authorities believed the counterfeit quality was so advanced that it had to be backed by countries like Iran or North Korea. In May 2012, Frank finally walked into a trap. An undercover agent pretended to be a major buyer, and during the meeting, law enforcement stormed the location and arrested him. Frank was now facing a prison sentence that could reach 60 years, but he still had one final card to play. Authorities had only recovered $2 million out of the original $250 million. Frank offered a deal. He would hand over the remaining $200 million and all of his equipment in exchange for his freedom. The US government realized that if this massive amount of supernotes entered global markets, it could seriously damage international trust in the US dollar itself. Frank Bourassa served only 18 months in prison, essentially time already served, paid a fine of $1,300 in real cash, and walked free. Even more shocking, the man who once produced the most dangerous counterfeit dollars in history later became a consultant for security companies, helping governments fight counterfeiting itself.